Warning! You're watching Dr. Todd Lee TV, where theoretically you could learn a bunch of cool shit.
Well, hello there, boys and girls. Is it worth doing cardio on my leg day when it's also my high day? If you're going to roll out of bed and do fasted cardio, then wait at least 6 hours. Assuming that the fasted cardio is less, it shouldn't negatively impact your leg workout, nor would it be counterproductive. You're not just burning off the carbs. But if you were going to do your cardio at any other time of day, and or you can't get 6 hours in between your fasted cardio and your leg training, don't do it. By the way, people, that is a good question. Not, is it okay if I use propionate every 5th day? Like, that was actually a good question. Hey, Todd, hope you're well. What are your bodybuilding plans for the next year? I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking. Right now, you know, to deal with the diabetes, I'm doing a health phase. Like, I knew I wasn't sure how much of the fucked blood work was just because it was post-prep and how much was really damage to my pancreas or my insulin resistance or my liver. That was like something not proximal to peak week. So I just said fuck it and went right into a rebound phase anyway, even though people advised against it, because I really didn't think it was real. And by the end of that rebound month, even though I wasn't babying shit, most of my blood values were getting better. And then recently, with the help of Dominic Cusa, corrected the insulin resistance. It's only like 2 weeks into this, and I'm still not 100% adherent because I'm still like figuring out a few of the details, because I had to peel off the Masteron first, which didn't improve anything, but you know, it's good to downshift so that you can shift back up and get more out of less. Because I pulled back from 300 Masteron a day to 60 Masteron a day. My gym performance isn't any worse. My look isn't any worse. And then after I got some metrics on my estrogen and my IGF-1 on that, then I cut my GH in half to see if it improved insulin resistance or insulin sensitivity. It didn't, but I didn't get fatter, nor did I lose size, nor did I lose gym performance. So I think my body had just adjusted to those doses completely. So they weren't hurting, but they weren't helping. And so now I'm probably wrapping up the health phase. I probably could start a blast and a grow phase soon, but the Olympia is right around the corner. And then from the Olympia, I'm going out to LA to be on a podcast called Transparent and shoot some content with Niall in Los Angeles. And then I'm flying back. And then I think I'm basically getting right back on a plane to go down to Florida to make an appearance at a show down there for Fusion. So I'm probably not starting my grow phase till November, even though I'm probably healthy enough to. And then from there, I'll grow November, December, January. And depending on how I look, I'll either cut for the Detroit Pro. And if I'm too big to make it down to 180 in time for the Detroit Pro, just grow for another few months. And then we'll cut for the end of the year 2025 season to qualify in theory for the 2026 Olympia. So I won't take the whole year off, but I'm not going to try to, they've got so many great shows in Asia. Like there's India, China, and Japan end of the year in 212. And then as far as classic goes, they've got a classic show every weekend in Texas. They've got the classic show every weekend in Florida. Across the planet, there's literally hundreds of classic shows. So if I can make weight for classic, then it makes sense to do that. All right, for training, do you ever do single body part split instead of a bro split? as antagonist muscles are worked on those same days, i.e. chest focus instead of chest stretch? Yes, that is what I do. I think I said so in that video. Maybe not. Maybe I said in the last live cast. I do back and chest. And then the next day was going to be delts and arms. And I did that for a few months, but I was sore in my delts and my arms from my back and my chest. So I then moved it. So now what I do is back and chest, because back's a weak point and chest is a strong point. So I'm doing chest after back. I would flip it if it was the inverse. Then the next day I do legs. And then the day after that, now that my arms and delts won't be sore anymore, I do delts and arms or arms and delts. So on the A, because it goes 1A, 2A, 3A off, 1B, 2B, 3B off. The 1 always starts with lats. The 2 always starts with hamstrings. The 3 starts with middle delts, rear delts, triceps, biceps, one time. And then the other gym with the other equipment, it goes triceps, middle delts, rear delts, biceps. Now, if my weaknesses were biceps and rear delts, I would have those first. But to me, my weakest body parts, or my body parts that need the most improvement, would be lats, quads, triceps, in that order, to get the most bang for my buck. And the reason why I don't start with quads on leg day is because in order for me to really get my quads good, I have to almost pre-exhaust my adductors. But if I don't pre-exhaust my hamstrings before my adductors, then that becomes an issue. So I have to do them in a certain order. If I really wanted really good ankle mobility, I would pre-exhaust my calves too. But at that point, it's just too much work. I'm doing hamstrings and then adductors and then calves before I even get to the leg extensions to pre-exhaust before the compound lifts. I'm there for an hour, hour and a half before I'd even get to my first real set. Thanks everyone for good questions today. I really appreciate it. Hey, Todd. Just started TRT, so I spoke too soon. So doing sub-Q because only 0.5 milliliters, but it has me thinking, how do you rotate injection sites? I am on a cycle to minimum prevent scar tissue. Yeah, this is completely wrong. You should be doing everyday injections in the muscle, not sub-Q. Yeah, 0.5 is way too much for sub-Q. The only reason why you would do sub-Q is you're so fat, you can't possibly reach the muscle. I've been focusing on, Robert D. I've been focusing on cutting body fat with the intentions of starting a proper clean bulk. How should I reverse my diet out of the cut bulk? I'm at 12% body fat. When do I stop cutting, start bulk? I would wait until you get down to like 8% body fat. And then I would start adding in like 10% of the calories per day. So if you're at 2,000 calories, not per day, per week. So if you're at 2,000 calories, just add in 200 calories for the first week and then go another 200 calories for the next week, another 200 calories for the week after that. You're going to be super fucking hungry. It's going to be worse than the diet, but that's the proper way of reversing out. If you want more help about this, check out J3U, John Jewett University. Enrollment starts Tuesday. Use code Todd5, and they just added a new module for post-show, which is what you're talking about, like recovery phase, aka reverse dieting. It's all called post-show in bodybuilding. So if you do his post-show protocol, you'll get the best results. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Fusion Regenerative Therapies, where I am the Director of Human Performance. This is the practice in which I practice medicine. We'll be able to order you blood work and read your blood work and help you with therapy as needed based upon the results of your blood work. Please click the link to get a consult with me, and I can help you optimize your performance. Thank you. All right, starting to get acne 3 months into taking TRT. I track my macros every single day, and I don't eat any processed foods or have cheat meals. Could this just be the way my body responds to testosterone? Yeah, it could be, but you're probably taking too much, and you're probably not doing it every day. If you're taking your testosterone every day, you probably wouldn't have huge swings of DHT and estrogen. You wouldn't have gotten that. Like if you'd started with 10 milligrams every day and went to 20 milligrams every day and went to 30 milligrams every day, you probably would never get those. And if you did at 40, let's say, then you could roll it back to 30 and just cruise at 30 and then start using Masteron to get more progress. How should I split my training if I want to bring up arms? At the moment, doing push with 3 movements for triceps, pull 3 movements for biceps, then legs, then off, repeat. Just do your triceps first on push day and do your biceps first on pull day. And then on legs, do triceps. And then take the day off and then start the next week with pull, biceps first, then push, triceps first, and then you hit biceps again before leg day. So you go triceps, biceps, triceps and legs, off, biceps, triceps, biceps and legs, off. All right. Best exercise for big, juicy triceps. Right now, doing JM or French press, one-handed cable. You've got it. Those are the three, man. That the French press and one-handed cable, especially if it's overhead, one-handed cable or behind your back, one-handed cable. If you check out my How to Grow video, arms, I basically detail all of that. That you basically, it's just 2 positions, period, for the arms. There's this, and then there's one with your arm at your side. And you use a cable for both of them. And you literally do 2 exercises for biceps, 2 exercises for triceps. You're done. So there's this for bicep contraction and short head. Then this for tricep long head. And then the down at your side, stretch mediated curl for long head. And then press down for lateral head. And you still get the other head too, the long head too that way. All right. T-Tree, can you please explain again your views on slightly elevated hematocrit and why it's not an issue? Well, first of all, most people are dehydrated first thing in the morning. They confuse fasted with NPO because they're giving false instructions. You can have water. You just can't have anything that raises your triglycerides or your blood sugar, which means anything with calories. So if you were appropriately hydrated, you wouldn't have a elevated hematocrit or hemoglobin. Now, even if you did, the threshold is much higher than people think it is. It's 54. And even if it was 54, the concept that you're going to stroke out and die is based off the patient population who have strokes, which are men in their 70s with pre-existing cardiovascular disease. For a young, healthy bodybuilder who has no risk factors, having thicker blood would be expected. You need it. You need the blood. You need the red blood cells. The red blood cells are how you carry oxygen. So if you train hard, then the anoxia that occurs in the tissues is going to signal the kidneys to release EPO, and the EPO is going to drive the bone marrow to produce more red blood cells. That's the kind of the point, is the lungs and the kidneys work together in this regard. Does so for blood pressure too. So you having more oxygen carrying capacity is what gives you more endurance. This isn't a bad thing. It's a bad thing if you have inflammation and that inflammation causes damage to the blood vessels, which would require the LDL cholesterol to deposit fat particles to repair, and then they get trapped, and then there's a clots that form over it called thrombi, and then that narrows the vessels, and that drives up blood pressure. Also, the clots can break apart and throw clots, and that can cause what's called strokes or heart attack or pulmonary embolism that is made of a thrombus. That it's basically a heart attack, a brain attack, a lung attack would be the right way to say it, so that people understood the stroke and a heart attack are the same thing if it's an ischemic event due to a thrown clot or an embolus. So if you drain the blood to get rid of these red blood cells, but you stay on the drugs that are giving you elevated red blood cells, you're just going to get more red blood cells. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Greetings, Earthlings! Like, subscribe, and share this video. Share with a friend. Share with enemies. Share with people who think they know everything. I am a medical doctor, and I could be your doctor. Click the link in the description box. I can order you blood work. I can read the blood work. I can treat any illnesses. Basically, it's like an HRT clinic that's a one-man army. Also, I do coaching. Dr. Karina Dotson and I have a coaching business called Apex Coaching. So if you sign up with me, you get coaching, which is nutrition, programming, competition prep, or lifestyle coaching, as well as all the medical stuff. So you have two doctors in one business. It's going to be contest prep, the nutritionist, the programming person, and the doctor all in one. You can't beat it. It's integrated. It works the best that way. You'll love it. Make sure to do it. Click the link in the description box.